How's it going? We got a quick little deck tech for Prism, OG Prism Blitz tech that was able to win Season 8 Week 1 Skirmish this past week. I think in the right meta, she's looking pretty strong. It's with more aggressive decks, you have a tougher matchup. But just going over it real quick, I'm going to try to get this reviewed in about probably 5 or so minutes. If we look at the summary of it, we got 24 yellows because we are running the Luminaris as our sole weapon. 11 blue pitches, and then we just have 8 reds. I usually start out with 39 in the main board. Here I do have my 2 Arclight Sentinels out because you don't use ALS all the time, especially in real aggressive matches. Against like a dash, you don't want to have that because they can just pop their boots and get past the ALS, and it costs 6, so you basically dump your hand, you're going to take a lot of damage. I have the set of Celestial Cataclysms for the mirror match, and then if you are going into something that you don't think is going to be blocking a lot, so you're going to be able to save up a lot of soul, or even like a... I would probably just bring... I usually always just bring one, so usually my ALSs and one Celestial into matchups. If I'm going to do the fatigue strat, like into a ranger, or not, I usually wouldn't go fatigue into ranger, but into dash. Definitely bring the flicker tricks into dash, and then also into the other illusionist matchups, into ninja as well. They're work pretty well. I've been happy with the success with them. And then the blues, we have of course all the blue auras. This is definitely an aura prism list. Rocking all the blue auras. The only aura that we don't have 2 copies of is Ode to Wrath. It's really strong, but I feel like it's not as much needed for what I'm doing. We have, of course, the red heralds, the red war tunes, Herald of Protection and War Tune Herald, and Miraji Metamorph because we are doing the aura strat, so we usually always have an aura on the board. I'm running Invoke Soraya as well. She has come in pretty well into a few matchups. If nothing else, she's a yellow that blocks 3. Let's see. The Phantasmal Symbiosis is really good as well. Going into certain matchups, they have like a C and C as their only popper usually. Or even the mirror, maybe going against either a Bolton or a Prism, knowing that they're going to have Celestial Cataclysms. You can name that, and it helps it to keep the chain going and take the only popper out of their hand, basically. Into the field that I went, it was a Lexi, Bolton, Bravo, Reinar, and then in the top 4 was a Dory and then a Dash. So the Reinar was able... That's one reason we bring the Gambler's Gloves, because I was able to... in that matchup, it didn't come out too much, but I did have him. If he wasn't running his Gambler's Gloves as well, I wouldn't be able to have an ALS on the board, and he'd only had 1 action point. But this is the whole reason to go. And I guess if you go into KOs as well, you want to have your Gambler's Gloves for them to have to re-roll. We have the AB3, of course, into Kano, or any Icelanders LL'd by now. But Arclight Skullcap, we have that because of the extra blocking. We want to have extra, as much with running the aura build. Sometimes it does take time to set up. If you don't get that, turn 0 double aura out. Wave of Reality, it works well, especially with Soraya. But I was happy with how the list performed. I'm probably going to cut it off here. Leave any comments if you have any questions. In the right meta, this is a very strong list, I think. If it's a little bit of a slower meta, and even into dash, I was able to get the fatigue into dash. Even when they were running the pistol and they weren't running the Talishar, I still was able to get the fatigue win with that. So she still can get some fatigue done with this list. But yeah, so it was a fun list. It was a good skirmish, and look forward to the next skirmishes this couple weeks. Have a good one.